Hi guys, Lori here. If you guys have been watching my videos for the past couple of weeks, you notice I'm in the middle of like a massive room change. I'm still in the middle of it, but I've decided to get rid of a lot more books than I originally thought. I was watching a lot of Unhaul videos recently, especially Super Space Chick and Alexa Love Books, and I really sat down today and really looked through my collection and really pulled the books that I am not gonna read anytime soon. I'm lucky enough that I live in a location where I have a ton of conventions available to me. I've got to go to I'm going to BEA in a couple months, but I've gone to New York City Comic Con for the past 2 years. I've gone to BookCon for the past 2 years. I've been really, really lucky. But because going to these conventions, you get so many books and books that I just don't think I'm gonna read again. So I want to do a really, really big unhaul video. I want to put a disclaimer. If these books are your absolute favorite, I apologize. It doesn't mean I will never read them. It just means I'm really excited for the upcoming books in the upcoming seasons. And these books have literally been on my shelf for years. And if I really do want to read them, I have wonderful access to libraries and ebooks that I can easily get my hands on. This is going to be a long video, so sit back, maybe get a snack. Okay, the first book I'm going to get rid of is American Gods by Neil Gaiman. I have never read anything by Neil Gaiman. I've heard really good things, but it's just not a book I want to read right now. I would much rather spend the time reading my middle grade mythologies. But I've heard really good things. Possible I might read it one day, just not right now. The next book I'm going to get rid of is probably a little bit of a shock because The Lunar Chronicles is my favorite series. But I would never reread Ferris. I don't like Queen Lavanya. I thought the book was okay, but I would never reread it. And yeah, so it's going to go find a new home. The next one is an arc I got from B-Fest a couple of years ago, and it's Enter Title Here. I was really excited for this, but it's not something I'm super excited about. So I want to give it to someone that might really, really love it. Another book that came from, I think this is from Underline, it's Beware That Girl, and I won this in a giveaway, I think, from them, and I just never got around to reading it. There's a lot more thrillers that I would love to read, and this one's just not high on my list. I got this in a book swap. It's called Hexed. I'm not super... Oh, it has to do with witches. Alright, this one I might actually wind up keeping. I did get it in a book swap, so I might wind up keeping this one because it does have to do with witches, so this one might get kept. Sorry. This one I'm really upset about because it actually is personally signed to me, Female of the Species, but I've had such a hard time with her contemporary books, so it's not one I would probably ever read, and I was just hanging on to it because it's signed to me. So yeah, sorry. So I have a really hard time getting rid of signed books because I feel like someone took the time to sign me a book and I just don't want it. This one is Seven Black Diamonds by Melissa Marr. I know you don't technically have to read the Wicked Lovely series, but I wasn't a big fan of that, and I picked this up at a convention because it was buy one get one. So yeah, unfortunately, no longer interested. This is another one I got at a convention, The Trees Crept In by Dan Corrigan. And I read her other book, The Dead House, and I did like it, but this one just didn't capture me as much, so I won't be keeping this one either. The next book is Poison Princess by Kresley Cole. I got this years ago when I started watching BookTube, and it just sounded so cool, but I don't really read a whole lot of paranormal stories. It's just not my genre, and I would just prefer to spend my time reading something I know that I'll really enjoy. Just because paranormal books just aren't my thing. Another one is Shadow Magic by Joshua Kahn. This is one that I might actually read in the future, but I just don't need it on my shelves right now, so I am going to get rid of this one as well. But I've heard really good things about it, so I don't know. Again, this is my tentative get rid of list, so. And the next one I'm going to read is Shattered Blue by Lauren B. Hortz. This one is not signed to me. I do have the second one that is signed to me, but I am going to get rid of them. It was a last minute BookCon pick, and it just didn't capture me when I was reading the summary, but she was standing right there when I bought it. So this is another book that I got from B-Fest, and it's The 100 Lies of Lindsay Lovett. Yeah, it's just another thriller, but I really would like to read the thrillers that I have on my list that are just more exciting. This came out a while ago, and I didn't hear much reviews about it. So again, just no longer interested. This one is A Forest of Adventures is a modern love story of an ancient London. This is like a King Arthur retelling. I don't love stories, but I did get it signed to me, so again, just not interested. I have a really big problem picking up books because just authors are there and I like, oh my god, they're there. They want to sign my book. So that's probably one of my biggest problems. These are just a couple of books I picked up from New York City Comic Con. How to Stop Time by Matthew Haig. It's another adult book. I don't read a lot of adult books. It's just one that don't think I'm going to ever see. These are all came from a convention like a couple of years ago. The Witches of Wickford by Paul Cornell. The Freemason's Daughter by Shelley Sackler is another arc that I got. The Gilded Cane by Vic James. This one was actually signed to me as well, but I just haven't heard the best things about it. And this is a short story collection by Neil Gaiman, Unnatural Creatures. I remember I bought that because I was in a store and you had to buy something, and it was the only thing to use the bathroom. This is another really, really massive one that I got from Del Rey, and it's Plague of Giants. I do have another giant book that I'm keeping, but I'm just not interested in reading this one as well. And these are just a couple from various conventions. Darker Still, I got from Blogbound last year. This one was really interesting. It was the graphic novel version of The Imitation Game, and I just am no longer interested in reading it. I do really want to watch the movie because I kind of love Benedict Cumberbatch. This one is another one by Mercedes Lackey, The Serpent's Shadow. And I don't know, it just didn't sound that interesting. I think I got it for free. I got it for free at one of the conventions, so when I bought something. And then these are two books that I also got, The Unfortunate Decisions of Delilah Moss and The Astonishing Mistake of Delilah Moss. These were free. I don't know, they just didn't capture me, so. And this is The Jane Austen Project, which was kind of like a time travel novel that I picked up at the Strand, I think. And then a friend of mine gave me North of Happy by LD Alced, and I really did like his other book, but this one just didn't capture me. And this was a book that I got from like a win. You won a contest, and I got Daughter of Blood. But again, so these are just, this is part one. There's another box I'm going to show you guys, but these are the books that I'm part of the books that I'm no longer interested in reading. Now let's go to part two. Smaller haul that goes with part one. Endless Night by Kresley Kroll, which is the second book in the Poison Princess series. If I want to read them, I'll just get them from the library. Steadfast by Claudia Gray. I do have book one on my Kindle, but if I really love it, I'll buy the second one on my Kindle or I'll get it from my library. Hounded by Kevin Hernier. Again, this is just like a fantasy novel, but it sounded good, so I kept it for a while. Does that count? Karen Marie Moaning Dark Fever is a fever novel, but I don't want to. I know it's a super long series, and I really don't want to get invested. Alienated by Melissa Landers. I still want to read Starfall, I think, or the sequel to that, but this one just never caught my attention. It's like Aliens, and I don't really love Aliens, sorry. Chaos of Stars by Kirsten White. I have another, I really enjoyed Kristen White's other books, and this was like mythology, but it's a standalone, and it just didn't capture my attention. Asylum by Madeline Rue. I picked this up because of the pictures, but I just haven't heard the best reviews about it, to be honest, so I'm going to get rid of it as well. Shadowfall by Ariana Strickland and Michael Miller. I just finished the sequel, and it is signed to me, but you know what? I don't think I'm gonna reread this series, and it is an arc as well. So, Sanctum by Sarah Fine. I won this for my Hypable giveaway, and it is actually signed to me, but it's been so long since I read book one. I just would have to read it. I don't even know where book one is, to be honest with you. Her Majesty's Dragon by Naomi Novak. I got this like 4 times at Comic-Con, so the last copy, but I'm finally giving it away. Yay. Daughter of a Burning City. This is also signed to me, but I just didn't love it. I have high hopes for Ace of Shades, but I'm just not going to read that. And also The Looking Glass Wars. I have a lot of other Alice in Wonderland retellings on my shelf, and I'm just more interested in reading those. Alright, so that's part 2. Now let's move on to part 3. Here is part 2. Again, I apologize if any of these books are your favorites. This is Will Wilder and the Lost Staff of Wonders. This was in middle grade, and I do have book 1 on my Kindle, so if I do love this book, I might just get book 2 out of the library. The Madness Underneath by Maureen Johnson. I did like book 1, but to be honest with you, I would just get it as an audiobook and listen to it because I do like thrillers as audiobooks. So I'll just get that on my Kindle. This is another book that I got from Comic-Con. It's Blackwing by Ed McDonald. It was like a thriller and like a science fiction story. I don't read a lot of adult science fiction. This was a Star Trek Legacies Captain to Captain. I just picked it up, but I have never been interested in Star Trek, and none of my friends are either. This was Phoenix Rising by Brittany Pierce. I know book 2 came out. I just saw it, and this was a pirate-themed novel. It just didn't capture my interest. Tropic of Cancer by Christopher Brown is another dystopian novel. This was a short story collection, Mad Hatters and March Hares, edited by Aline Dalton. And this, I was really excited, but again, I don't read a lot of short story collections that aren't young adult, which is why I got rid of the Neil Gaiman one. And this is another one, The Diabolical Miss Hyde. Seemed interesting, but I got it at like a random convention. And there is All Are Wrong Today's. Just didn't seem that interesting to me. I got this at one of the conventions as well. I also am going to get rid of the entire Discovery of Witches series. I got this from a friend of mine, and it just, I haven't heard the best things about the series, so unfortunately I'm getting rid of that as well. I'm also getting rid of the entire Luck series by Edward Robertson. I've had this book series for literally 9 years, and I just kind of moved out of those books. I got that when I was really into, like, the A-list and stuff like that. It's been a while, so I just don't think I'm super interested in reading them. I'm also getting rid of The Devil Crept In, which is another murder mystery novel, but I have so many of those that I'm more young adult that I would love to. The Burning Isle is another book that I am going to get rid of. The Unburied Carol, I'm going to get rid of, another adult novel. This one I got from BookCon last year, We Are the Lucky Ones, and it's an historical fiction novel. I know my friend read that, and she enjoyed it, but she loves and this is Vanguard by Anne Aguirre. This is another book series that I picked up book 4 in a 3-book series, and I just never read the first 3, and I don't want to go backwards. And then the next one is Vagrant by Peter Newman. It's another adult fantasy series, I guess. I'm so sad. I'm so afraid that this book tile is going to like topple. So, okay, it's not gonna topple. At least I hope not. All right, and then the next one is The Magician's End, book 3 in the Chaos War Saga. Have not read book 1. Have not read book 2. So. These are another one. These are The Confessions of a Paris Mysteries by James Patterson. I literally picked this up because I had no book to read one day, and I just don't feel like finishing it. Titan by John Varley is another science fiction novel that I got from Comic-Con. This is the second Shadow of Night book.
I only see one thing over here.
All right, I'm not doing something.
All right.
Lux and Rumors, I'm going to get rid of. That's the Aaron Garberson book. Riff Frequency by Amy S. Foster. That I heard really good things about, but I'm not gonna go back and read book 1. So, and I might one day, but I'm just not gonna get it on my shelf. Twilight Tower, I'm gonna get rid of. It's another historical fiction. Born in Fire, I got from the CJ Redwine event, but I don't love paranormal stories, as you can probably tell through this unhaul. And then this is another one of this is actually the first Discovery of Witches series. And these are just a couple of random ones. Girl in a Bad Place. I picked up because it was on a table at BookCon last year. But I really have no desire to read it. And Love and Other Alien Experiences is another one. And this one is Dashing Through the Snow by Debbie Munker. So that is part of my haul. If I do decide to unhaul any other ones, I will tack it onto this video. But let me know if you guys have been doing some spring book cleaning and what you have decided to get rid of. It may look like I'm getting rid of a lot of books, but when you guys actually do see my room tour, you will see I actually do have a lot of books left. So don't fret. I have so many things to read. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment and like and subscribe to my channel. I have some fun giveaways coming up, and I'll talk to you guys later.